What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking secrets to the wedges, how to get better, kind of in that 50 to 100 yard range, whatever your wedges are. We're going to talk about the secrets to that, what I do and what the pros do, what the real pros do. You know, the guys on TV, they're on tour, they're really good. What they do to dial in these wedges and be so consistent with getting the ball close to the hole and setting up a good chance to make birdie or par, whatever they need to do. So let's talk about it. Let's go. So when it comes to dialing the wedges and getting the distance control right, it comes down to a couple things. And the first one is making sure we can be consistent on the amount of loft we have at impact. What I mean by this is, if you watch any of the pros, they're not going to have this move where there's a lot of kind of wrist flip on the way through. There's a lot of adding loft on the way through. And they're not going to have any of that unless they're hitting like a super high flop shot. But from 60, 70 yards, you're not going to be hitting that high flop shot. What you will see is there's some forward shaft lean and rotation of the body, so the club is not changing the loft really at all. And that's why they can be so consistent with this, because they don't have to worry about, sometimes the club might have 58 degrees, sometimes it might have 64 degrees, sometimes it might have 52 degrees. If you have that differential, controlling the distance is going to be really, really hard. But if we can keep this nice and consistent, getting the distance correct on these shots is going to be much easier. Now, how do we get consistent at delivering the club to the ball with the same amount of loft and face angle and all that? What we need to do is eliminate some of the wrist action, because all of this wrist flip is going to help add and subtract loft. Most of the time it adds loft to the club face. It's going to make it a lot harder to control the distance, control the height and whatnot. So to eliminate some of the wrist action, we want to think about flexion in the wrist. And what I mean by that is lead wrist, flexion. This is extension, this is the flip. We want flexion. So to do that, what I want you to feel is we'll take our grip, we'll hinge up so the club's like parallel to the ground, and I want you to roll the wrist around so the logo of your glove is pointing down back at the ball. So from face on, hinge up, rotate this way, gloves pointing down. That's going to get you in flexion. That's going to help you get in a position like this at impact. Now, we're not actually going to get this far ahead of the golf ball because of the centrifugal force. All the weight's at the end of this, which is going to make it harder to get here. The club's going to want to release. So you're going to have a little bit of forward shaft lean, which is what we're looking for. But we need to feel a lot to have the little bit of change, because we're used to doing this. So we need to feel huge to make a little change. And once we get that feeling of some wrist flexion, we can just make some little short swings. You can even start like lift the club up, get in that position, make a little half swing. Try not to blade it. It's a new feeling, you know. It's not always gonna be great to start. So again, get in that position, wrist flexion, rotate, rotate. So then you can just start building up and up and up. Big thing to notice here too is when we're in this position, all we're doing to deliver the club, we're rotating our body through. We're just, club's in this position, rotate the body through. We don't need to do anything with our wrist. Again, that's going to make it harder to control the distance. So we got a good feeling for it. Now we can hit it a little better, a little bigger swing. Start from the beginning. Kind of put it all together. Now we can control the distance, have a lot more consistent loft at impact, because there's not as much of this flip motion. Now you're probably thinking, Darren, that ball launched pretty low. What if I want to hit higher? Well, it's all the same motion with the swing. We're just adjusting the setup. So for that one, that was my kind of stock shot, say for the 60-yarder. Ball's pretty much in the middle of my stance here. If I wanted to hit it higher, I don't want to think about having to lean back and flip at it, because that's just going to make golf way harder than it already is. And we already know it's really hard. So all I'm going to do is just adjust kind of where the ball is in or where the ball position is. So a little forward, that's going to help me reduce some of the forward shaft lean and help me deliver the club with a little bit more loft. And if I want to get even higher, I'm just going to open the club face up a little bit. So all of this means is we can make the same golf swing, but I can go from this kind of stock height shot. That was pretty good. And then I can just adjust it. Ball goes up in my stance, club face goes a little open. Same thing. I bladed that one. We'll do it again. So ball position forward, club face a little open, same golf swing. What I didn't do on that last one is keep the weight forward. I was trying to help it up. So that's why I bladed it. We let the loft do the work, and it's going to launch a lot higher, kind of just how you want to do it. So now you know it's just keeping the wrist action kind of quiet, using your body to deliver the club, because then you won't have as much variance in loft that you're delivering the golf ball. Now the second part is the pros, they have really good feel. And unfortunately, I can't tell you how hard to swing this club, how far to take it back to hit it 60 yards. That's something you're gonna have to learn, the feel. But the technique you can do to learn this feel, it's basically just trial and error. So if we hit some shots, say you hit a shot to this first pin here, you hit one, it goes really far, right? So that one landed, it's a pin 60 yards, that thing landed 75. So we know that went farther. So simply, we're just adjusting what we learned there. Okay, I hit that shot, it went too far, so I need to hit a little shorter backswing. Okay, and then that was pretty good, 5 yards short. So then that's how we develop the feel. But to get a little better at it, dial it in even a little bit more, what you can do is try and set minimums and maximums. What I mean is, so we're going to this front pin, right? If we're chipping to a front pin, we probably don't want to leave it short, because then you miss the green. So I've got 60 yards, and my goal is to hit it 60 yards, but miss it long. So if we're sitting here, the goal is 60 yards, hit it long. So we're trying to hit it like 62, 63. That was a little bit too far. And then vice versa, if we're going to that back pin, we got 70 yards, but our goal is to always miss it short, because long of any pin normally is not good, or long of any green. So 70 yards, goal is to hit it as close to we can, but make sure we miss it short. So that one right on line, landed a couple feet short, it's pin high. So that's how we can really dial in those feels. And this is gonna transfer really well to the golf course, because obviously we know the pin's not always in the middle. So if you're sitting at 60 yards to this front right pin, you have the confidence that you can attack the pin, but know you can miss it past the pin in a good spot. So what I really want you to take from this video is two things. We're trying to eliminate wrist action. So we're feeling some of this flexion, kind of the glove logo down, feeling the flexion rotating of the body through the shot. This is going to help you be a lot more consistent with a loft that's delivered to the golf ball, make it a lot more consistent, getting the ball to go to the right distance. And secondly, it's developing that feel so you can hit different shots to different pins to help you kind of learn that feel. My suggestion too is to do like a ladder drill. You can do this on the range, you can do it on the chipping green if you have a setup like this. I'm kind of spoiled that I have this. This thing goes to like 90 yards. So if you're on the range, what you can do is there's hopefully targets out on the range. Pick a target, say it's 50 yards, be like, okay, I want to hit this one 50 yards. I want to make sure it misses short of the 50-yarder. So as close as I can get, but short of the 50-yarder. The next one as close as I can get past the 50-yarder. And then go to another pin that's a little farther, say it's 60 yards. Short of it, past it, keep going back and back. This is gonna really help you develop the feel and just get a lot more consistent. So that's all I got for this video here to help you develop the wedges. There's not a whole lot you got to think about here. It's a secret that not a whole lot of people use because they just think, oh, it's a wedge. I'm just like, it's a short shot. It's gonna be really easy. It's not easy. We all know that. So, couple things to remember, couple things to work on in practice. It's gonna help you become a better wedge player. And you're gonna be able to hit it closer, make more birdies, all that good stuff, all that good jazz will shoot lower scores. So take these tips, bring it into your golf game. Start playing better golf. Hitting wedges closer makes the game easier. So dial this in, start hitting them closer. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment. I will answer it down there if you have any questions. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! If you're looking for a one-stop shop, everything short game related to help you improve on and around the greens, I got a short game program for you. If you want to watch more of these videos, click here. If you want to subscribe, click down here.